Hi guys, and welcome back to Neil Ploy with myself, Neil, and Thomas. We're here for our first 2025 reaction video of 2025.
Yeah.
So we have Luxembourg chosen their song, joining Macedonia. No, not Macedonia. Yeah, no, they're not in the contest.
No, Montenegro, babes. Montenegro.
And
Honest mistake.
Albania. Honest mistake. Montenegro and Albania. I knew someone had came back. If you want to check out the reactions we've already done, including any of the national final performances that we've looked at, you can go to neilploy.com, where you can now also send us a voice note with your opinions. So if you think we're wrong, let us know and you might feature. Thomas is like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But who knows? It might be fun. We might get nothing. Who cares? So neilploy.com for that. But as we said, Luxembourg have chosen. They had a national final, the Luxembourg Song Contest. You caught a little bit of it, I believe.
I've seen about the first 5 songs, and then I switched to Eurosong, obviously. Yeah.
Patriotic Belgian there. I watched all the songs, but I didn't watch the voting. So we have Laura Thorn, the Poupée Monte Le Son. So this is the doll turns up the sand, I believe. I looked it up, and that's what I remember. And it's based off of previous Luxembourg winner France Go, and her song about wax doll, rag doll.
Yeah, Poupée Song, which is a classic.
Yes, and I always forget that that's a Eurovision song as well. I will admit, like, because you hear it different places. Anyway, let's see what we are getting from Luxembourg this year. This made me want orchestras back, I'm not lying. It's such a cute outfit as well, isn't it, actually?
Yeah.
She actually does look a little bit like a doll.
She does, yeah, with like the white like stockings. It's a good vocal.
Yeah, well, I believe, if I remember correctly, she's got a PhD in pop music.
Okay.
Which I didn't know you could get PhDs for that, but...
We learn a lot on this channel.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I do really enjoy the verses. I'm not 100% sold yet on the chorus. Sort of lacks a little something for me.
I'll speak after this. I am a little bit always in love with anything with strings, and the strings are lovely here.
Yeah.
Quite dramatic, actually.
Here's the girls. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's like the most lukewarm reveal I've seen in a while.
Oh, it's gaining some. Okay.
She really does have a fantastic voice.
Yeah. Did she nearly trip there in the end?
I didn't see that.
She sort of like took another step. Like I think, yeah. I might have been wrong because it was a far like a wide shot, but okay.
Right. So we have our third song. That's the Poupée Monte Le Son by Laura Thorn. Thomas, what do you think? Because this is one of the ones you missed, I think.
Yeah, so I missed the last two, which was I think this one and then 0.5, which was like at least pre-live show was my favorite song, which I know not a lot of people share that opinion apparently, because I saw it was last in the in the scoreboard app. But I really like that one. So I missed those two because I switched to Eurosong. I had heard the song before though, because I did react to them on Blue Sky. And I think I had it third in my top whatever seven songs, I think. To be honest with you, the performance doesn't really change my opinions on the song. I feel like it's a cute song. I feel like the staging was also cute, but just not really any massively like standout moments in this, not in the song nor in the staging. I did quite like the sort of like when it picked up a little bit of pace when she did the dress reveal. So that part was kind of fun, I think, despite what you said, like the lukewarm reaction in the arena.
Yeah.
Which was sort of, yeah. But maybe people just didn't expect it and they were just like, oh, huh, what just happened there?
Or maybe people didn't notice because it was the same color dress.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, if you're going to do a dress reveal and try and make it sexy, which it just wasn't really. But then on the other side, she's also mimicking a doll, so I don't know how you make that sexy in a way. I don't know. I'm just saying like things off the top of my head. But yeah, I liked that part of the song, and I was like, oh, it's like picking up a little bit of speed here. It's getting more interesting, and then it goes back into that chorus, and the chorus just lacks a little power for me. I feel like if you do have that reveal, I kind of want something more explosive coming after that. And she did do like obviously like all of those vocal riffs, which are impressive. She's got a very good vocal. But the instrumentation itself and the song is still sort of like, I don't know, just sort of lacking a little something for me. But this is cute. It's fun. I like it. But I doubt it'll make my top 10.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with you on one thing, and that is the instrumentation. So I think from the start that instrumentation is great. If obviously when we get the Eurovision album, we get the karaoke versions, and I think if we listen to the karaoke version of this, I think we will find that it actually sounds really powerful. But what I think is happening is I feel like there's a disconnect between the music track and the vocals and the lyrics and the tone of them. When we first start listening, we see the clip of France Gall from, is it 65 or something?
Yeah, somewhere.
Something
yeah,
like
60s,
that.
I don't know.
And you see that clip, and you see the clip of the orchestra as well. You can tell the music is not from that clip, but it's so powerful and it gets really into it. And I feel like that does continue. But the song, it's the vocal part of the song, when it comes to the tone, the lyrics, it just seems very almost like the antithesis of that. It doesn't seem powerful in the vocal, in my opinion. And I think that's maybe where I agree with you, that I just wanted something more. Like it's really nice and kind of poppy, but it just doesn't, especially with the music starting off quite cinematic like that. And I would just want this to sort of join it. I mean, for example, if we think about the last two winners, Loreen and Nemo, they've been quite cinematic in terms of the music track, but they've also been really powerful in the vocal and the lyrics. And I did look up at the English translation of the lyrics before this, so I know what she's singing about. But you just don't get that same power or emotion coming through, and I think that's where it lacks for me. And I don't know if that comes down to the fact that this was all produced and they've reached out to her to do this song, or if it just.
I don't think it
if
was
there's
written
something
by
missing.
her, from what I can.
No, it was produced and written by someone else, and they reached out to her afterwards.
Yeah.
Because we heard about that in the initial VT. Thank you to the English commentators last night for translating some of that for me. But like, yeah, I was just I was a little bit underwhelmed by. I really, really liked the instrumentation, but I was underwhelmed by everything else. The staging idea, there is a staging package there, which is always good to have, and there's lots of time to refine that. Obviously, you're going to have a bigger stage to make that bigger, bit more money to do better, to do bigger and better. But I don't know, there's just something missing, and I'm not sure if they can get that unlocked in time. But you never know.
Yeah.
Tally did a little bit of a revamp for Eurovision, and there were some really nice additions in there. So we might have a bit more of a re-rounded.
Yeah, and I
song.
think they have time until the end of March, I think, for if they want to do a revamp or if they want to make some changes. Yeah, I think we agree on that. The fact that there's something missing, I just think we disagree on what it is that it's actually missing.
Yeah.
But I think the takeaway from this is just that you can't really put your finger on what it is that's lacking. It's just like, for me, like, I agree with the fact that like the strings and the instrumentation, they're quite beautiful. Maybe it felt as if I don't know if there's necessarily a disconnect, like you said, between the instrumentation and the vocal. I felt like the vocal was the more powerful of the two. In my opinion, because for me, like, it felt like especially, I really liked the instrumentation during the verses. That's what I said, like, when we were reacting to the song just now. I really like the verses. They have they have more character. There's a bit of oomph in there. It's sort of snappy, and it keeps you on your toes a little bit. But then I think maybe it's not the instrumentation of the chorus. Maybe it's just the melody that sort of feels a little too basic for me. It very much does feel like a song that was made for a Eurovision Song Contest. It was made to compete. And I always struggle with those kind of songs. Not that they're bad, not that this isn't catchy or anything. It's just that you can sort of hear that it's a little bit too made for a competition. So in that sense, I had other favorites in the Luxembourgish national final. I feel like it's a similar thing that you see in Melfest a lot, where these sort of like pop songs feel a little overproduced, which I think has been a criticism that Sweden have gotten about Melfest for many years now. And then it makes sense when you hear that she didn't actually write this song.
Yeah,
she was asked to sing the song. So it's basically just a group of people writing songs and then reaching out to artists like, hey, do you want to sing this song? There's nothing wrong with that. We've had many great songs in Eurovision, with that process. But I feel like these days, you need a little something more unique. You need a little something more original if you want to actually do really, really well at Eurovision. If you look, like you said, if you look at the winners from past years, they have all been very original sounds, very original songs. Even though some of them did really sound like a Eurovision song, they had that sort of something that just made it their own for that specific artist. This song could be sung by a million. Skype agreeing with me. This song could be sung by a million other girls, and it would sound exactly the same. It's what I'm trying to say. And that's no shade to her. Like, obviously, she did a great job with that performance. But that's my issue that I have with this entry a little bit.
Yeah, I think here's the long and short of it, in my opinion. Overall, it's a decent song. It is a good song. I do think it's one of those ones that could be a slow burn. Like, I can already hear the getting stuck in people's heads and going round and round and slow burning that way. But that doesn't mean it's my favourite. Does this have a good shot of qualifying? Probably, especially if they keep that little, reference back to the 60s in there. a little bit of nostalgia for some people, a little bit of something different. But overall,
the act isn't bad. If the act is amplified for
Mhm.
Eurovision, then I feel like the act in itself could elevate this to be a qualifier, I think.
Yeah. So we're not completely destroying it. It's just maybe not 100% our cup of tea.
Yeah.
I think
that's the main. Yeah.
I mean, it's quite funny you mentioned the Swedish songwriters, as there was one of the tracks which was my favorite of the night, which everyone else seemed to hate, which was by Mina, was written by Swedish songwriters, and I absolutely loved it. So maybe
was everybody hating it? I saw a lot of positive comments for that one on Blue Sky.
Well, they came quite low, and I saw a few people didn't like it anyway. But that was one of my favorites. But this was Laura Thorn. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know in the comments down below. Remember, you can like and subscribe, and you can check out all of our previous videos as well here on YouTube. And you can also find the podcast, our social medias, and leave us a voice note at neilpoad.com. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.